My daddy had a Ford that drove him out of his mind. The brakes wouldn't stop, the gears they'd grind. He'd cuss and curse and kick that old truck, damn it to shame. So he traded it with cash for a brand new Dodge, fuel injected 360 power, windows dual exhaust. Remember driving off the lot with Seeger on the radio, singing roll me away, roll me right on home. Let it ride, let it roll, fire it up, lose control. Man, I love singing that old time rock and roll. In my daddy's new Dodge, the Seeger on the radio. Every Saturday afternoon, he'd grab a bucket and rag, couple drops of dish soap and some
carnival wagons and that truck of blood down in the sun. Pioneer tape digging a couple 6x9s, 15-inch submarine. Sound so fine, crank it up to 11 with Seeger on the radio. Sing, roll me away, roll me right on home. So let it ride, let it roll, fire it up, lose control. Man, I love singing that old time rock and roll. In my daddy's new Dodge, with the Seeger on the radio. Camp grew up with a mom, but nothing brings me back like driving that old Dodge with Seeger on the radio, singing roll me away, roll me right on home. Singing roll me away, roll me right on home.
We are WCTV19, connecting you to the community by giving you a voice and telling your story. We are teens documenting reality, and this is Unleashed.
Hello, and welcome to the 11th annual WCTV19 Broadcast Banquet. Now, this ceremony is about the 82 students in the WCTV19 program. Today, we honor you. We recognize your accomplishments, and we're going to take you through a year of what it looks like to be in the broadcast program. Yes, as I look around in my home office, things are just a little bit different this year. Well, if this is your first banquet, this is typically done in the cafeteria. We usually have dinner together, but this year, we're in our homes. We're safe with our families in front of a TV or a computer monitor. And for the most part, well, That's all that we're going to change. Because you know, as you see in the wall in the classroom, the tradition of our program doesn't graduate. At our banquets, we usually have a theme, and the theme is tied to our STN trip. So today, I had to rock my staff t-shirt underneath, and I had to go find my red, white, and blue in my closet to represent our time that we spent together in the nation's capital. Now, as I stand here today, I can tell you every single year in this program is unique. No year is the same. And that can be said for the 2019-2020 school year. Now, as a part of our tradition, we have a belief that every year we will create our own legacy. It's up in the top of the classroom in the very back. We respect the students from the past, but we take nothing for granted, and we create something new that would make our alum proud. So what you're going to see today is a lot of failure. What you're going to see is a lot of risk. You're going to see a group of teens who take a challenge, even when the road ahead was really, really bumpy. What you won't see is a group of students who quit. You won't see anyone give up. And when we fail together, and then we pick each other up. We call this our ohana. You'll see actions that prove that we are a family. Well, not that term that's really overused. In the traditional sense, you're sitting together with your families. But what our definition of family is, forget about me, I love you. This is what it looks like when teens use their voice and their actions to create change, when they really work hard to make a difference. What starts on a cold morning on a football field in August after our lock-in ends right now, today. So with our first video, we take a look back at what we accomplished this year. And this is what it looks like when teens don't let circumstance dictate their actions. This is a group of people who truly care about one another. This is our ohana.
We all have moments. A moment when we laugh, and a moment when we cry. A moment when we feel accomplished, and a moment when we feel defeated. And this year, there was a moment we found out our time together was coming to an end sooner than we hoped. Standing in a room with our closest friends after a long day touring Washington, D.C., we heard the heartbreaking news out loud for the first time. The STN convention was canceled. Feeling hopeless, we needed these last moments together to be one ohana. We had the choice to give up or make the most of the time we had left. And just like any other WCTV19 gathering, we danced, we sang, we hugged, and we were grateful for one another. These moments were priceless. At first, we thought our months of preparation didn't serve a purpose. But in this moment, we realized that we spent these months not preparing for contests, but for adversity. We started out the year like normal, with an open mind and a mission to make the program better than years prior. We failed and failed again, from camera movements to our live events and class connections. But we reflected on our unattainable ideas, humbled ourselves, spent countless hours talking and revising, and adjusted them into a product that would make us proud. In a family that thrives side by side, we suddenly found ourselves physically separated due to the coronavirus in March. We quickly adapted from being packed in the broadcast room to little squares on a Zoom call. Where we would normally celebrate together in a convention center, we found ourselves watching the Excellence Awards ceremony from home. We were also able to collaborate and create 2 coronavirus quarantine shows, just 2 of our many accomplishments. Looking back at the beginning of the year, leaving a legacy was one of our goals. And despite the early end, we still accomplished one of the more award-filled years in the history of the program. This year, the WCTV19 program received numerous awards for their hard work. From the Student Television Network alone, we won 14 total awards. First up, we earned an Excellence Award for Unleashed, the best taped daily show in the nation.
The Daily Taped national winner is Whitney High School.
Also, STN inducted 12 WCTV19 students into their Honor Society for academic excellence and involvement with the organization. They earned at least a 3.5 GPA, submitted letters of recommendation, and participated in STN contests or events. In STN Nationals, WCTV19 staff members earned first place in live sports event.
Candler called Spence in motion, and it looked like it would be a play action.
For the second time in program history, one partnership earned 2 first place awards in Inclusive Feature Story and Sports Feature Story.
For Maddie Hamp, every weight that hits the ground is a success.
Our program received second place in Community Feature Story and Commercial.
They discovered their passion through their clubs and swings.
We also won third place in Feature Story and Sports News Story.
The number 9 seed Whitney and number 1
More WCTV19 members earned honorable mentions in 6 categories: Community Feature Story, Inclusive Feature Story, Lifestyle Reporting, Feature Story, Sports News Story, and Show Open.
We are WCTV19.
National Scholastic Press Association awarded Unleashed with their prestigious Pacemaker Award. According to NSBA, it recognizes the best of the best in scholastic journalism. It was the first time Unleashed earned this distinguished honor. For the Directing Change Film Contest, the WCTV19 program received multiple awards regionally for our public service announcements. In the suicide prevention category, we won second place and 3 honorable mentions. Additionally, in the mental health category, we earned third place and 2 honorable mentions. In the Regional Water Authority video contest, for the first time in the 9-year history of the competition, staff members earned first, second, and third place. The program won top honors in the PSA contest about water conservation for the 2nd year in a row. For the Journalism Education Association Northern California annual contest, we placed 14 times. WCTV19 won first place in the Best of the West broadcast competition for Unleashed. We also earned first place in the following 7 categories: Feature Story, Sports Feature,
Something, but they won't be.
Sports News,
Cats won 69-56.
Commercial, On-Camera Talent Field Reporter. Students are working on Monster Project, On-Camera Talent Sports Announcer, and PSA.
You are never alone.
We also won second place in Feature Story, Sports Feature, Sports News, Commercial, On-Camera Talent Field Reporter,
right behind me. The football team is performing their final execution.
and PSA. And in the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences Regional Student Emmy Awards, we received an Award of Excellence in the commercial category for the 3rd year in a row. The commercial will move forward to the national competition between all 19 Emmy chapters. In the American Bankers Association Foundation's Lights Camera Safe contest, we received first place nationally for one of our PSAs. And for the first time ever, due to the setbacks caused by the coronavirus, our staff created 2 shows entirely from home. In March, we collaborated with Johns Creek High School in Georgia to produce a morning show.
Since the beginning of March, communities have implemented social distancing measures to reduce the spread of the virus.
Shortly after, in April, we made our final episode of Unleashed for the year, where we interviewed teachers, students, and other adults to find out how the stay-at-home order impacted our school and the community. After airing the remote show, KCRA3 featured the WCTV19 program in their newscast. They interviewed multiple students explaining the process of creating Unleashed from home. WCTV19 was also featured on the national show Graduate Together, America Honors the High School Class of 2020. It aired on every major network. Behind these accomplishments are an infinite number of times spent together, solving problems, finding our purpose, and growing as individuals. These experiences are lessons we will carry into our lives to help us overcome difficulties. In the future, we will have new moments with other groups, whether it's in college or in our careers. But what we experienced together this year, as in Ohana, will forever be the moments we cherish.
This year, our annual recap video was made by Lena Tang, Julia Williams, Haley Best, Michaela O, Carla Barajas, Maddie McAdam, and Elena Roberts. We thank you for all your hard work. Before we move on, I want to reflect on something that you just saw in the video. Now look, if you've been to one of our banquets before, for me, after working together with you guys for the last, 10, 11 months, it's always really hard to reflect and say goodbye. As a tradition, I have my Kleenex ready to go. I wish that we could share this moment together sitting in the cafeteria. But last August, September, and October, they were brutal. They were hard for all of us. We were pushing ourselves to be better, to create something that would be better. We were refining just the smallest little details, but at the end of the year, I want you to think about this. STN awarded you with their highest honor, the best taped daily show in the nation. NSPA awarded you with a pacemaker. Now that's an award they call their Pulitzer Prize for high school journalism. JEANC presented you with an award that said that your show is the best in the West. Now it's true. Something was taken from us over the last few months, but you earned the right to say that you created one of the best high school broadcast shows in the country. I'm incredibly proud of you. Thank you. Now, before we move on, we have just one more award to present to you. It's from our band director, Mr. Harper, and his family. Now, several years ago, Mr. Harper's son, Brian, came into my Broadcast 1 class ready to talk video, animation, and he just wanted to work. The next year, he edited and he worked the studio camera for our Unleashed show and would always bring examples of some graphics. He loved Disney films. And in 2015, he sat in the broadcast room and in a banquet and was recognized for his achievements. But on January 30th in 2018, Brian passed away. The Harper family created a scholarship for a senior. And this year, the winner of the Brian Harper Memorial Scholarship is Autumn Abercrombie. I would like to read you a few words from the Harper family. They said that Brian inspired people to look deeper into themselves and to never judge anyone. He was a genuine friend to everyone and everything. Brian left us too soon in January of 2018 with so many lessons left to teach us. His family takes special pride in the person that Brian was and honors his memory with this broadcast scholarship. The scholarship was created by his family to continue his legacy, to help students further their education. This year, the scholarship will be awarded to Autumn Abercrombie in the amount of $500. On behalf of the Harper family, congratulations to you, Autumn. You deserve it. Next, I'd like to introduce you to the 82 students who are in the program. Now, this year, we were led by a group of editors who transformed into leaders. On the screen right now are this year's staff leaders. We have news directors Haley Best and Carla Barajas. Assistant news director in helping the two of them, and was also our executive producer, is Elena Roberts. Our production managers were Michaela O, Julie Williams, and Sarah Young. Our sports directors were Jalen Jokums and Lofton Lechner. Also helping round out our team was our Channel 18 program director, Lena Tang, our executive producers, Madison McAdam, Brianna Muldong, and Huda Zanuna. Our social media director, helped with weather, was Gwen Holloway, and our multimedia manager, contest coordinator, and business manager was Chloe Kelly. I'm forever thankful to the 14 of you. You helped me over and over and over again. No time was more important than when we were in DC. I counted on you. I leaned on you. I needed your advice, and you were always there to help. We had more than 20 after-school meetings, numerous morning meetings, summer meetings, live events, showcase night, and you solved so many problems. You always modeled the way. Now, many students will continue in this program because of you. Thank you for getting to school by 7 a.m., for editing our shows, for staying after school on Wednesday deadlines. To the 14 of you, thank you for believing in me and believing in this process. Your jobs were never easy. Thank you. Now I'm going to introduce you to the students who make up this award-winning program. Up first, we start with a Period 2 news class. They create the news packages and the feature stories that you see in Unleashed. As I just mentioned, this year the class was led by news directors Haley Best and Carla Barajas, and our assistant news director, Elena Roberts. Here are the staff members of our news class. Take a look.
Homegrown alligator, see you later. Gotta hit the road, gotta hit the road. The sun ain't changing the atmosphere, architecture unfamiliar. I could get used to this. Time flies by in the yellow and green. Stick around and you'll see what I mean. There's a mountain top that I'm dreaming of. If you need me, you know where I'll be. I'll be riding shotgun underneath the hot sun, feeling like a someone. I'll be riding shotgun underneath the hot sun, feeling like a someone. We're south of the equator, navigator. Gotta hit the road, gotta hit the road. Deep sea diving round the clock, bikini bottoms, lager tops. I could get used to this. Time flies by in the yellow and green. Stick around and you'll see what I mean. There's a mountain top that I'm dreaming of. If you need me, you know where I'll be. I'll be riding shotgun underneath the hot sun, feeling like a someone. I'll be riding shotgun underneath the hot sun, feeling like a someone. We got two in the front, two in the back, sailing along and we don't look back. By in the yellow and green. Stick around and you'll see what I mean. There's a mountain top that I'm dreaming of. If you need me, you know where I'll be. I'll be riding shotgun underneath the hot sun, feeling like a someone. I'll be riding shotgun underneath the hot sun, feeling like a someone. I'll be riding shotgun underneath the hot sun, feeling like a someone. I'll be riding shotgun underneath the hot sun, feeling like a someone. We got two in the front, two in the back, sailing along and we don't look back. By in the yellow and green. Stick around and you'll you'll see what I mean. There's a mountain top that I'm dreaming of. If you need me, you know.
Now, every year, we honor the seniors in our program, and we recognize them for their hard work. The seniors in the news class this year are Autumn Abercrombie. She's headed to the University of Mississippi. Her sister, Victoria Abercrombie, and she's also going to the University of Mississippi. Carla Barajas, who is attending UC Davis. Haley Best is going to the University of Alabama. Tabitha Bland is going to Arizona State University. Emily Brandt is attending Long Beach State. Isabella Dollar is starting her college career at Sierra College. Emily Gaston is going to Baylor. And Huda Zanuna is headed to UC Riverside. Thank you to all of the news team staff members. I appreciate you. I love you, and I respect every single one of you. Now, before we move on, in our dual enrollment Sierra College class, students had the option this semester to make a video thanking a senior in our class. So here is Kylie David, Sophia Perkins, and Leah Deutsch with some kind words for their peers.
Hi Carla, I just wanted to make this video to tell you how much I appreciate you. I know it's a hard time right now, especially with your senior year being cut short, and it sucks. But it's okay because I know you'll do amazing things in college, and I can't wait to see what you do in the future. I just wanted to tell you how much I'm thankful for everything that you've done for me in broadcast this year. Thank you for helping Sophie and I with our stories. We're really appreciative of that. Thank you for staying up during all those late nights with us when our stories fell through and we didn't know what to do and we were panicking. You were always there for us to calm us down and to give us story ideas. So thank you for that as well. And also thank you for all the times you came up to us in broadcasts and, not just ask about our stories and how they're going, but also about life in general. So I'm really grateful for that as well. Anyways, I know you'll do amazing things in college. I can't wait to see what you do in the future. I'm so proud of you. And make sure you come and visit us next year. I'll miss you. Bye.
Hi Haley, I just wanted to make this video as a thank you for all of your help over the past, I think about 1.5 years now. And I know Kylie and I really appreciate all of your help, with you and Carla both, with if our story fell through, you guys would be good at helping us come up with a new idea of what to do. So we always had a solid story. And I really appreciate when I would come in during 6th period to edit and you'd be working on your own project, and if I needed help with something, you would still come over and be willing to help me fix whatever problem I had, and I really appreciate that. And also just as a director, I also really appreciate all the times that you would fill in for me if I wasn't able to be there because of soccer or if I was sick or something. I really appreciate that as well. And just from all the tips that you've given me over the past about 1.5 years, just to help me grow as a director and just as a person. So I really appreciate that. And I hope you have fun in college. I heard from my friend's siblings that Alabama is really fun, so I'm sure you're going to have a blast. And I wish you the best and good luck in college.
Hi Emily, so I wanted to make this video to let you know how much of a positive impact you've made in my life. When I was a sophomore and I first met you, I was really scared because I didn't really know what to expect. You were an editor and I was so terrified that you were going to come over and look at my video and tell me it was bad. But what blossomed from meeting you was our beautiful friendship, and I'm so sorry that your senior year got cut short. That wasn't fair to you, and it's not fair to any of the other seniors. But I just want you to know that I absolutely love you, and I am so excited for you going to Baylor. Obviously, I'm so sad. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry. I'm sad because I'm really, really going to miss you, but I'm so happy that you get to pursue your dreams and go to your dream school, and I hope that you come back and visit. Honestly, every time I look at you in broadcast, I think it's so funny because we're usually thinking the same thing. You always smile at me and you're so sassy, and I loved getting to do our excellent show with you and get there really early, and we had our Dutch, and I know we tried one time before the one that we actually submitted, but I'm just really, really grateful that I've got to meet you. And wow, I'm really, really getting a little emotional right now. But yeah, thank you for being such a good friend, and I hope that we still get to go to the mall together and stuff when you come back from Baylor. But I love you so much.
Thank you guys. That was awesome. Next, I'm going to introduce you to our production staff. Now, these are the students who create commercials, public service announcements, short films, so much more. This year, the productions managers in charge of the class were Michaela O, Julia Williams, and Sarah Young. And sometimes in our tight, cramped classroom, it felt like a full house. Take a look.
Whatever happened to predictability? The milkman, the paperboy, evening TV. Did I get delivered here? Somebody tell me, please. This whole world's confusing me. Clouds as mean as you've ever seen. Ain't a bird who knows your tune. Then a little voice inside you whispers, don't sell your dreams so soon. Everywhere you look, everywhere there's a heart, a hand to hold on to. Everywhere you look, everywhere there's a place of somebody who needs you. Everywhere you look, everywhere there's a heart, a hand to hold on to. Everywhere you look, everywhere there's a place of somebody who needs you. Everywhere you look, everywhere there's a heart, a hand to hold on to. Everywhere you look, everywhere there's a place of somebody who needs you. Everywhere you look, everywhere there's a heart, a hand to hold on to. Everywhere you look, everywhere there's a place of somebody who needs you. Everywhere you look, everywhere there's a heart, a hand to hold on to. Everywhere you look, everywhere there's a place of somebody who needs you. Everywhere you look, everywhere there's a heart, a hand to hold on to. Everywhere you look, everywhere there's a place of somebody who needs you. Everywhere you look, everywhere there's a place of somebody who needs you. Everywhere you look. When you're lost out there and you're all alone, life is waiting to carry you home. Everywhere you look, everywhere you
Now, the seniors in this year's productions class are Sam Berg. Sam is attending Sierra College in the fall. Next is Maggie Brody, and she is going to Sacramento State. Julia Ruccioni is going to Azusa Pacific in the fall. And Lena Tang is headed to the University of Pacific. Thank you to the productions team staff members. I know that if any member of past classes are watching this, they would be really proud of you. You took what they created, and this year, you made period one truly something special, something unforgettable. To all of you, thank you. Now, next, I would like to introduce you to our sports class. They created the daily segment called the Full Court Press, and they also make highlight packages. Now, our sports class this year were led by sports directors Jalen Jokums and Lofton Lechner. Here to show you how they celebrate, here's this year's sports class.
bring the beat, life like Jordan. Young gang star, flip the kill switch. Jojo, pose, pose, pose. 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 Jojo, pose, 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 JoJo, 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 pose, pose.
Now this year, we only have one senior in the sports class, and that's Lofton Lechner. Lofton is headed to Phoenix to study at Arizona State University. Thank you, sports team staff members. Now your class is a tough one because we're kind of mixed with the staff leaders and the sports class. And there are times when, I'll be honest, I kind of feel like it's impossible to balance working with you and working with the editors. But this year, you guys created a bond. I'm so proud of you and for all the things that you accomplished. And like in period 2, you also had a few staff members who were in the spring semester dual enrollment Sierra College class. Now they also had the option to make a video to thank a senior in the class. Here is Sarah Zanzi, Ziana D'Souza, and Brooke Schaefer to say thank you.
Hey Lofton, it's Sarah.
And Ziana, thank you for being such a great staff leader and friend.
Thank you for helping us with our stories over the course of the whole school year and being open to any questions that we had. I remember whenever we would film, you'd be really quick to respond when we were facing any obstacles while shooting for our stories, so that helped a lot, so thank you.
Thanks for staying with us super late while we were editing and giving really helpful suggestions on how to improve our packages and make them the best that they could be, especially the tennis one. Also, thanks for all the fun memories from STN and our Mario Kart group chat. You always made us laugh with your signature death stares from across the room. At first, I was a little nervous at joining broadcast, but you were always so welcoming and made me feel super comfortable. Thanks again for everything, and don't forget us.
We appreciate all the help that you've given us in finding any bumps in our package planner or script, and overall you've been a great mentor to us, and we appreciate all your help. We're going to miss you and your high fives before coming into the broadcast room next year, but good luck in college, and we hope you'll come and visit. Thank you.
Hello, so we get to make a video for a senior. So of course I picked Lofton because he's the only senior in our sports class and we became really good friends this year. So I just wanted to say a big thank you for all of the memories and everything you have taught me from this year. So I just wanted to put some of our favorite memories in a little video for you to say thank you.
It all began in class when we started to get close as you were assigned to help me and Livleen with our new partnership. It was kind of crazy how much you actually helped us. I didn't expect anyone to ever put that much effort into something, but you really showed that you cared not only about our work but about us and how much we learned, and that's when I started to realize that we were going to be good friends.
But I just want you to know that all of your hard work doesn't go unnoticed, especially in the broadcast class. You have dedicated your whole life to that class, and outside of class, even, your job when I come sneak up on you at Papa Murphy's. So thank you so much.
Love you, Lofty boy.
Now let's talk about Washington, D.C. In March, you guys broke 2 records in our program. Number 1, you paid for the most expensive trip that we've ever had to an STN convention. But number 2, you also brought the most students, 72. That's right, 72 students went to Washington, D.C. So here's a video that Sarah Young, Gwen Holloway, Huda Zanuna, Chloe Kelly, Lofton Lechner, Brianna Moldong, and Jalen Jokums made to show you and the family members what it looked like when 72 of us head to the nation's capital.
This year,
We pushed ourselves to not just match what we have done in the past, but to create a culture unlike anything else. When we arrived in DC on March 10th, we were prepared for whatever STN was going to throw at us. We were bonded together more than ever. We'd spent all day together touring the city, seeing popular landmarks, laughing with each other, and just having a good time. Suddenly, we were faced with a difficult reality when most would tend to give up. But for us, we were brought together. We realized that although we didn't get the opportunity to compete and prove ourselves, we still got the chance to be with 72 members of our family. And for WCTV19, there is nothing else we could ask for.
After finding out we weren't able to compete at STN, it was really a surreal moment for me because I realized that it is my senior year and it was my last trip, and I guess that kind of made me sad. But also too, it was like a moment where I realized that everything happens for a reason. And I think looking back on it, it made me so grateful for all the memories I've had over the past 4 years. And honestly, like, we were so lucky to even like go on this trip.
One of my main goals for STN 2020 this year was to make as many students as possible feel the same way that I felt last year, which was loved and welcomed. And I know last year, all of the seniors, juniors, staff leaders or not a staff leader, they all showed that they really cared for me. And the trip really showed that I have a family and the importance of the culture that we have in this program that I'm super, super thankful to be part of. And so even though we weren't able to stay as long as we would have wanted to, I still feel like I had the time to make valuable connections with people that I never really knew before.
I think the thing that I most look forward to for my first STN trip was getting to explore DC and the surrounding area with the rest of the program. And we took a picture and I still have it, and looking back on it, it's really funny because we were panicking in the moment, but it's a great memory to have.
My favorite moment from STN 2020 was definitely when we came back to the hotel room after the boat cruise, and what really stuck out to me was that individual people in the program stood up and were thanking other people for doing everything in the program, and I just never thought that a huge group of kids would come to me crying and thanking me for everything that I had done for them, and it just really stuck out to me. That was definitely my favorite moment.
A few weeks later, STN announced Unleashed as the best daily tape show in the nation. It came full circle that our hard work doesn't go unrecognized and that our Ohana can get through anything, no matter what the situation is. The STN 2020 convention may have never happened, but in the end, we all proved to ourselves that WCTV19 is a family like no other.
Now, with a group this big, we can't do it alone. There were 6 individuals who sacrificed vacation time, time away from their families, responsibilities, and help make your trip unforgettable. Right now, please help me to thank Todd Satterthwaite, Jason Daggett, India Graff, Carrie Hamilton, Melissa Locketts, and Josh Vanderkamp. Without you guys, a trip doesn't happen. Now, every few years, we recognize the people who help us achieve our goals. Now, we call this award the Volunteer Appreciation Award. It recognizes the people who go way above and beyond to help you and our program. They put the students first. They make sacrifices in their personal lives to help the WCTV19 staff members. This year, we would like to recognize, thank, and honor Miss Carrie Hamilton. Now, Miss Hamilton is one of the reasons why some of the students didn't have to pay for their trip to Washington, D.C. She sacrificed hours to set up, shop, and run the snack bar. Now, with a team of parents that she helped organize, she made sure that every Friday and Thursday it was up and running for every game. She sacrificed time from her family, from her husband and her son, to go to Washington, D.C. She organized and helped us sell tamales last year. And she also gave me the confidence to set up and run a broadcast camp. She believed in me and she believed in us. Above the classroom is a big poster when you walk out that says Commitment to Excellence. Carrie Hamilton committed herself to make this program excellent. And we are forever thankful for your help and for your support. Thank you so much. Our program is better because of you. And now we transition to a story of the 9 seniors who completed broadcast 2, 3, and 4. As a freshman, they could have had broadcast 1 or mass media, and they have spent at least 3 years in our advanced broadcast program. It's been a tradition that I honor you and I thank you for your commitment by showing, well, some clips that you probably hope were gone forever. They're not, and here they are. Parents, here's a video of the 9 seniors who spent hours and hours in the broadcast room. I will always cherish the time that we spent together. This year's video is titled, Here's to You.
Remember on the first day, walking through the hallway, talking about how we couldn't wait to get to leave this place and graduate. Well, now we're in our last year, yeah, we should be there, surrounded by our friends, making memories. That's how it should be. Yeah, I wish that we could turn back time, but we will have to leave it all behind. So here's to the ones who won't get the chance to take the field at their last home game, or ask that girl to prom, or sing their school fight song. And here's to the ones who have to say goodbye to the past 4 years of their lives that made them who they are. Oh, here's to you. And here's to you. And to the rest of your life, it's gonna fly right by. So be thankful for each moment and don't waste your time. And on the road ahead, I hope you understand that there is purpose in the hard times. So here's to the ones who won't get the chance to take the field at their last home game. Ask that girl to prom, sing their school fight song. And here's to the ones who have to say goodbye to the past 4 years of their lives that made them who they are. Here's to you. Here's to you.
Remember all the things we wanted, now all the memories they're haunted. We were always meant to say goodbye. Even with our fists held high, it never would have worked out right. We were never meant for do or die. I didn't want us to burn out. I didn't come here to hurt you. Now I can't stop. I want you to know that it doesn't matter where we take this road, but someone's gotta go. And I want you to know you couldn't have loved me better, but I want you to move on. You know that I love you so. I love you enough to let you go. I want you to know that it doesn't matter where we take this road, but someone's gotta go. And I want you to know you couldn't have loved me better, but I want you to move on, so I'm already gone. So I'm already gone. Remember all the things we wanted, now all the memories they're haunted. We were always meant to say goodbye. I want you to know that it doesn't matter where we take this road, but someone's gotta go. And I want you to know you couldn't have loved me better, but I want you to move on, so I'm already gone. I'm already gone. Remember all the things we wanted, now all the memories they're haunted. We were always meant to say goodbye.
Bright-eyed and stumbling down the hall, we knew right then we had it all. Someone catch us when we fall. We dreamt of prom and our last show, where we'd be sad but we could go. Somehow it's not the same from home. It's okay to shed a tear. It's the end of senior year. Don't forget the memories made. It's game over, but we played. We don't get to say goodbye, but now's our time to fly. Let's hold hands and take a bow, even if we're not together now. But we can't stop the clock, so this is our last walk.
To the 9 of you, thank you. Thank you for taking a risk. Thank you for never giving up and for believing that your stories can make a difference. I appreciate it. Now we've come to the end of the banquet, where we honor the top stories and the staff members of the year. Like in years past, you were given a ballot and you selected the winners of the top stories from each class. Up first, we're going to start in the news class. You voted, and here is the top news story of the year. Take a look.
Here at Stone Fitness in Lincoln, 20-year-old Steven Molinowski starts his workout with bench presses. 3 years ago, he discovered his passion for weightlifting.
The process is forever, going, you don't hit a certain point and you're like, okay, I'm good.
But for Steven, he doesn't just work out to get stronger. He does it to push the limits of his disability, cerebral palsy.
It affects my motor skills, my balance and stabilization, and just movements. Just my brain will tell my muscles something, but they won't react.
Cerebral palsy is caused by damage to the brain. The part of Steven's brain that was not fully developed is the cerebellum. Because of this, he mainly struggles with the control of his leg muscles.
There's so many different types of cerebral palsy, and just because you see somebody who's disabled doesn't mean that cognitively they're disabled. They might just not have the ability to move their muscles.
It's just a physical disability, so it doesn't affect like the way I think. Because for example, some people may like talk to me like I'm like a kid, just because it sounds like I have something different mentally when really like I'm all the way there.
Steven shares his story on his Instagram account.
Happy 14th day of Litmus!
And his joy for life is an inspiration for others.
Despite having a handicap, he still pushes on, proving people wrong, destroying the odds, and destroying any mental barrier.
In my DMs, I have people being like, oh, I have cerebral palsy too.
Weightlifting and managing the disability share one thing. Both require a lifetime commitment to mental and physical strength.
I just realized it was more than just lifting, it was like coping with stuff, and I feel good.
Reporting for WCTV19 with photographer Elena Roberts, I'm Kaylee Hamilton.
Congratulations, Kaylee Hamilton and Elena Roberts. Your peers voted your story as the feature story of the year. Now, this story that you just watched also won first place at Nationals in the Inclusive Feature Story category. It also won first place in the JEA NC Awards in the Sports Feature category. Next, in the news class, we would like to recognize our reporter and photographer team of the year. Now, the way this award works is we watch 2 stories from each of our team members. We evaluate what the reporter and photographer team think is their best story of the year and what they think is their worst story of the year. Now, what we're looking for is consistency, storytelling, exceptional natural sound, and awesome photography. Well, this year, we didn't have to vote because the 2 stories that this team created won first place in Nationals. Here is another award-winning story from your photographer and reporter team of the year, Kaylee Hamilton and Elena Roberts.
For Maddie Hamp, every weight that hits the ground is a success because she is in control of her body.
Epilepsy is where you have a seizure, and a seizure is when you have a whole body like shaking. You don't know what's going on. You have no idea like how it happened, why it happens.
Maddie was diagnosed in October of 2018. She had her first seizure, and we took her to the emergency room.
This piece of popcorn represents what normal brain activity looks like, but this is what it looks like during Maddie's grand mal seizures.
So grand mal is a whole body seizure. Like you're unconscious, you don't know what's going on, your whole body is just seizing.
Physically, most can't see the effects of epilepsy, but Maddie is aware of them every day.
When I got diagnosed, I was actually like terrified of my life because I didn't want to like drive and have a seizure, like go hang out with friends and go have a seizure. Like I couldn't be stressing about it because then I would have a seizure.
We drive far for practice every day, like 45 minutes, and if like something were to happen, like our lives could just like be taken away from like a car accident or something.
At any moment, she could begin seizing and drop over 200 pounds onto her body.
I'm just scared that like one day I'm gonna have one when I'm like cleaning the bar or like snatching or something and no one is gonna know what to do.
But the idea of giving up,
this is really heavy on my arms,
is not an option.
Did you ever think about wanting her to quit?
No, I can't. She loves the sport and that's her.
The biggest takeaway for Maddie?
Just live your life. Don't stress about anything. It doesn't help at all. Definitely have learned that from all of this.
Reporting for WCTV19 with photographer Kaylee Hamilton, I'm Elena Roberts.
And that feature story won first place at Nationals in the Sports Feature category. Now up next are the top stories from our productions class. The staff members voted, and here is your commercial of the year.
Imagine seeing in paint.
Imagine seeing in black and white.
Imagine seeing in ink.
Now imagine seeing your vision become reality.
Share your imagination with Art Club and the world.
Congratulations, Lena Tang and Sam Berg. This commercial also won a Regional Emmy Award and first place in the commercial category at the JEA NC Awards. Next is the top public service announcement of the year. And the winner, voted by you, is...
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Yes! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Whoa, you're gonna say no to that bagel?
Teens spend 23% of their money on food. You could save so much money if you ate out less.
Pretty sure it would have been fine.
1, 2, 3, 4.
$550.
Yo, you just got over $500 and you're not gonna spend it on anything?
Actually, you should still weigh 20% of your money for savings, 50 for necessities, and then buy anything you want with the rest.
How much is it? A lot. 500, 600, 605. I don't have any money for rent, tuition, or any textbooks.
I do.
Save your money and stay winning.
Congratulations, Michaela O and Alicia Chang. Now this PSA also won the Western region for the Lights, Camera, Save contest. Now this gave the young ladies a $300 Visa gift card and it advanced the video to the national level. In February, Michaela and Alicia found out that the PSA you just watched also won the national competition and it included a $5,000 grand prize check. Congratulations, Michaela and Alicia. Now next is our top highlight package from our sports class. You guys voted, and the winning highlight package is...
The Wildcats and Thunder are meeting for the second time this season. Rockland beat Whitney 27-14 back in Week 5. Whitney has not beaten Rockland since 2015. The Cats offense will rely on senior running back number 21, Will Fisher. He has 502 rushing yards and is averaging 6 yards per carry this season. He finished 6th in the SFL in rushing yards. Rockland's offense is powered by sophomore wide receiver number 4, Torin O'Haron. He has a team-leading 17.9 average yards per catch along with 2 receiving touchdowns. Starting in the second quarter with Whitney leading 14-3, Rockland quarterback number 11, Richie Watts, would fake the handoff and throw the ball right into the hands of defensive back number 13, Nick Tawney. Tawney returned the interception for 38 yards in the touchdown.
Are you kidding me?
This was his second interception of the game and extended the Cats' lead to 21-3 with 4 minutes remaining. Still in the second quarter and on Rockland's next possession, Watts would scramble out of the pocket and hit O'Haron on a screen pass, who would take it back across the field for a first down. This gave Rockland enough momentum to kick a field goal with just 4 seconds remaining in the half, and the Cats led 21-6. Into the third quarter with Whitney still up 21-6, Fisher would take the handoff to the outside and cut it back upfield, shaking off 3 tacklers for a 44-yard gain. This was his longest rush of the night and would finish with 186 rushing yards. On to the fourth quarter with just under 6 minutes remaining in regulation, number 17, Dom Spence, would receive the handoff and take it to the outside and rush 14 yards for the touchdown. This was his second touchdown of the night and would put the Cats up 28-6 with 5:53 remaining in the game. The Thunder only had the ball 3 times in the second half and did not score a touchdown. The Wildcats beat the number 1 seed Rockland 28-6.
It's unfortunate that you got to lose a game. Everybody wants to win that last one, but when we look at the personal development, that's the thing that matters most to us. And I tip my hat to Whitney for winning the football game.
We're like the phoenix rising from the ashes. We're reborn this year, and it's a new Whitney. I've been telling everybody all year, and the best is yet to come.
All I know is that we went out there and did what we were supposed to do as a whole defense. Our whole defense played big, so it's a big thing. Really excited.
And at the end of the night, the Cats have 14 points off of turnovers. Reporting for WCTV19 with photographer Lofton Lechner, I'm Salvatore Martinez.
This sports highlight story also won 3rd place at Nationals and 2nd place in the JEA NC Awards. Well, now we've come to the part of the banquet where we recognize the top students in the program for this school year. For this award, I will announce the winners and say a few things about them. Now, these are the students who set the example. They model the way, and they have battled not only to help their peers, but to make our program better. This year, the first broadcast student of the year is Lofton Lechner. Now, Lofton is one of the 2 sports directors in our Period 6 sports class. To understand who Lofton is, we need to go back to his sophomore year. He made the decision to join our productions class. Well, after a rocky year, he didn't qualify to be in the productions class again. In some ways, he failed. His only option was to take the sports class or drop out of the program. So he applied to be in a sports class. Last year, in the first semester, he watched. He learned from Perry, Sierra, and Morgan. He worked hard, and when he was offered the opportunity, he stepped up and filled in 2nd semester as a staff leader. In about an 8-month period, he went from looking at dropping out of the program to becoming a staff leader. Well, but being an editor is not that easy. For several months, Lofton made it even harder. He wasn't meeting the expectations of his peers, and he knew it. We met out in the hallway, and again, Lofton was faced with a decision. He could quit as a staff leader, or he could work harder and prove himself. Well, you just heard from your peers, Lofton, about how thankful they were, about how hard you worked, and about how they couldn't be where they are without your help. Your name will be on our banner 7 times. And I would say that you've had a successful year. Lofton, you have shown and you've proved to every student in this class that it is okay to fail. That's called learning. It is okay to make mistakes, because that's how you grow. It's not about the things that you say that you will do. It's about what you actually do in class. Thank you for working hard on the live events. We won several awards in those categories because you helped quarterback our team. And guess what? At our last game, things were not going well. We were failing. We struggled. Many of us were ready to quit. But not you. You were trained and ready for this situation. You helped rally us together. You knew we could do it. Lofton, I'm so proud of you, not just because of the awards that you have won, but because of the person who you are today. You have earned this honor. Thank you, Lofton. This is a little bit tough. Sorry, hold on. Okay. Now our second student of the year is Haley Best. Haley was never really said out loud, but I'm sure that many people knew that you were my rock. You were one of the people who I could count on. Your decision making was always with the best intentions for all the staff members in our program. I knew that if I asked you for help, you could complete the task, and it would be perfect. At some point, we had earned the trust of each other, and you would question some of the decisions that we were making. You would fix it. You would put us back on the path to success. Thank you. When I reflect back to your freshman year, man, you were shy. You were so quiet and you were reserved. And today, you're a confident leader. You're a teacher, you're a mentor, and you're a fighter. Like Lofton, You joined our staff leadership group last year after a student had to drop out. We talked in the theater, and before I could even really officially offer you the position, you said yes. And I said, wait, I encourage you to talk to your family. But you told Julie that you were all in. And watching you work last year, it looked like you loved it. You challenged the seniors, you made your voice heard. And this year, you showed us again you loved it. You modeled the way for how we should shoot and film a UPS, even in front of a dead chicken, and how we should direct a show, and how we should admit when we made a mistake with our big ideas. Haley, you deserve to be on the wall with the other staff members of the year because you sacrificed hours of your time to serve the students in the class over the last 2 years. You proved with your actions that you care. You care so much. I think we even saw some tears from you this year. And Haley, you live one of our core values: love, serve, and care. And for that, I am honored to say that you are one of this year's Staff Members of the Year. Thank you so much, Haley. Now, our final student of the year is a fan favorite. It's someone that everyone in the program has come to respect and to love. She has sacrificed for 2 years of her high school to serve you and to make this program better. I am so proud to announce that Lena Tang is a Staff Member of the Year in our program. Lena, making an impact in this program is something that you started to do your junior year. Everything that you could control, you tried as hard as you could to make it perfect. But for about 1.5 years, there was something you couldn't control: your partner. You were trying to take some of the hardest classes at Whitney. You taught music lessons, you played multiple instruments, and you played in a variety of different groups. You were exceeding all of our expectations as a staff leader last year, but you couldn't find a partner that would meet you halfway. Until together, we paired you with Sam Berg. Now, like Lofton, you are also on the banner 7 times this year. And that is not including all the graphics that you made for both Unleashed and our live events. Now, I tell you this story because I remember talking to you at the end of your junior year. You were scared to be a productions manager because you told me that you just didn't have the time. With your schedule, both at school and at home, there wasn't enough time. Ultimately, I remember you saying you didn't want to let the production students down by not having the time to help them as a productions manager. I respected your decision, and for your senior year, you signed up to be a staff leader and to help us reorganize our TV station and get it back on the air. Well, then we started planning last May, we worked during the summer, and we started the school year. Your actions told a different story. You may not have signed up for a specific role, but you never sat down. From the second you walked in the classroom to the time you left, every single day, every single period, if we look at your year on paper, you helped us create animated graphics. You listened to what Travis told us from New Blue, and then all of a sudden, we could change graphics by updating a spreadsheet. In addition to creating award-winning videos with Sam, you also made over 60 brand new graphics for our live events. And I learned from you how to run graphics during a football game. More importantly, Lena, it wasn't just the things that you created that make you so special. It's the selfless person who you are that really makes you unforgettable. You care so much for the 81 students in this program. You proved that you were never about signing up for a title, that you were about showing people how much you care. I remember there was a time in February. It was a Tuesday and it was busy because, well, it was right before a deadline and we were planning a contest and all of our contests for the convention. Several students were sitting around the classroom tables and they were eating lunch. And I sat there and I watched for several minutes. You worked your way around the classroom several times, never asking someone if they needed your help, You just sat down and offered your help. And that defines who you are. That is Ohana. No one was going to be left behind. You live the definition of family. Remember, it's forget about me, I love you. It was never about you and our program. It was about how much you loved, served, and cared all the other students. Lena, it has been a privilege to work with you over the past 4 years. You are one of the most dedicated students to ever be a part of this program. I'm honored to say that you are one of this year's Staff Members of the Year. Thank you, Lena. Well, now before I go, I was sent a video that several of you put together. Typically, you would come up and introduce this video because I have not seen it. So with that said, here's our last video of the evening.
My best memory with Barnholt is probably Seattle, when me and Julia both bought him the Daddy Shark shirt, and we came up to him with the speaker and we started singing Baby Shark and everybody joined in.
He saw that something was wrong, and that's like a feeling that I will never forget, because he called me into his classroom and he was like, okay, let's sit down, like let's talk about it.
Those like just moments where we just sit down and talk about like, hey, what does Whitney need to do to be Placer? Like, what, like, can you believe Whitney's in a section final for football? Like, those just small moments like that, those are like the best I've had with him.
Our final meeting, STN 2020, I just remember that being probably the hardest I've ever cried, and I'm pretty sure I gave 2 of the biggest hugs I've ever given in my life to Mr. Barnholt.
After we turned in our first story of the year,
he was just telling about how like chaotic his morning was and stuff, and how he ate his dog's medicine, and how like he felt so weird without caffeine.
He gave a speech to all of us saying that he was going to be at our wedding someday and that he'll always be a part of our lives.
In Nashville for my first STN, he was just dancing around with everybody, and he was like one of the kids.
even if he's like really stressed and frazzled, like he still cares about like the outcome of your story, but also like how you're doing.
There's no teacher on the planet that would ever go the lengths Barnholt will go for you. He just wants to see every single individual in the program succeed.
If people just took those few moments, got to sit down, talk to the man, they would know that he is like a really big reason why people love broadcast.
He's like one of the teachers that can actually have a conversation about like your life with you, and it's not just like, oh, like you're coming in here for a grade kind of thing.
He's so open-minded, and he's super funny and a great person to just talk to.
He's a very caring and selfless person. He really does take the time out of his busy life to ask you how you are, and really does help his students as well.
I wish people could see how much he loves his students and how crazy he can be with them. He matches us and sometimes exceeds us on the craziness level.
There's never been a day where I walked into class where he just, it's like, hey, what's up? Like, and we just go on with the day. It's like, oh, how's your family doing? How's this? He somehow knows everything. And he definitely is a friend.
He puts so much more time into this. Like he wakes up at like 2 in the morning, maybe 1 in the morning, to go over storyboards, to grade stories.
He doesn't want you to just pass his class. He's like, no, you're gonna grow and you're gonna get something out of this, whether you like broadcasts or you don't.
He's just always there to listen to anything I have to say. So he's really open-minded, and he's almost like a built-in best friend. You can just like go to him about anything.
He cares about what I'm going through, and that's just what makes him so different, because no other teacher gets invested like he does.
How much time and energy that he puts into his students and his program and the work that he does and everything, how he connects with the students and how he really brings them out of their comfort zone and makes them a part of this family.
He was looking through all of our Broadcast 1 videos, and he found Lofton's, where Lofton said in his high voice, like, I know what I must do.
One of the funniest moments that I shared with Barnholt was when he was checking one of our stories, and he noticed there was like an anatomy mannequin in the back of one of our interviews, and we didn't notice it until he pointed it out, and then we just started laughing really hard.
we're just sitting in the airport waiting to board the plane, and Barnholt picks up some sticker and gives it to me, and some random guy, and I still have it to this day.
My favorite memory of Mr. Barnholtz was him rapping Ice Ice Baby on the bus from this year. I just remember everyone like just getting super hyped when all of us were kind of feeling down.
He started making fun of me for my spray tan and how I looked orange.
Thank you, Barnholt.
Thank you, Barnholt.
Thank you, Barnholt.
Thank you so much for everything you've done.
Thank you, Barnholt. Thank you, Barnholt.
Thank you, Barnholt.
Thank you, Barnholt.
Barnholt, thank you.
Now, even though as I stand here before you right now, I've technically not seen the video that just watched, but I want to thank you for an incredible year. As we end the banquet, I wanted to show you this year's banner, and after the banner picture, stick around because we have a little competition between the classes. And before we go, I want to share one last thing with you. It's a passage from one of my favorite books. It's short, but I think this really sums up who you are. Here's the quote. "But I tell them there's no such thing as an overnight success. The way to success is the way of a craftsman, where you work really hard for years. You show up every day, you do the work, you see yourself as an artist dedicated to your craft with a desire to get better every day. You put your heart and soul into your work as you strive for excellence. You desire to create perfection, knowing you'll never truly achieve it, but hoping to get as close to it as you can. You try new things, you fail. You improve, you grow. You face countless challenges and tons of rejection that make you doubt yourself and cause you to want to quit, but you don't. You keep working hard. You stay positive, and you persevere through it all with resilience, determination, and a lot of hope and faith. And then you make it. And everyone wants to work with you. The world around you says, where have you been? And you say, I've been here all along. And hopefully I'm getting better day by day. And to the world, you're an overnight success. But to you, the journey continues. For all of you watching this, I can't wait to see where your journey goes and how it continues. Thank you everyone for watching. I love all of you. Thank you and good night.